And I estimate that this city is probably going to have, including its outskirts, of anything that's a 2 to 4 story or 2 to 5 story. So as soon as you get out from the downtown, you go into some of the older areas. Anything that's a 3 to 5 story building, guess what it's going to have on the back? And it's 50 to 75 years old. Guess what its second means of egress is? Motels. How many motels have metal stairs feeding the balcony to the motels? That's a exterior steel or wooden stair, subject to maintenance. You want to call it a fire escape, or you want to call it a means of egress? Doesn't matter, it still needs to be maintained. Can you get hurt? Can tenants get hurt? Or firemen get hurt fighting fires at the motels that are only 1 or 2 stories tall? Exposed to the weather? This is what a tag looks like, 7 to 10 feet off the ground, permanently affixed to the fire escape. Can you see the date? Can you see when the next inspection date is? Are you going to have any question when you walk in that building on a yearly basis? Can you have any questions when the next inspection date is? Do you know who inspected it? Is his name clearly stated? Do you know who fixed it? Is his name on there? So is this all the information you need, similar to an elevator when you walk in? So this is like certifying an elevator. You're certifying fire escapes with these white tags. Credentials. Whatever engineer is going to come to you and work on your fire escape, he must call you personally and qualify himself with you and send you a credential letter. Says, hey, I've done fire escapes, or I'm willing to learn how to do fire escapes. Because if he doesn't have all the information, can you guys give him some industry standard documentation that we gave to you, that you put on an informational bulletin? So instead of changing the law, can you take all this stuff and put informational bulletins that include information from Seattle, Tacoma, LA? Can you put all that on in an informational bulletin that now becomes part of your documentation? And follow industry standard guidelines? So if a new engineer wants to get into the business and he doesn't know what to do, can you give him some guidance? And say, follow the industry standard guidelines, fill out these confidence tests, you know, and follow these guidelines. But the guys that do know, they're going to have to call you and tell you. We're dealing with the lead safe law, right? So anything older than 1978, whoever touches it must be licensed, not only to pull a permit, must have a renovator's license, which is not a city license, it's an EPA license that you get. You must register your firm with EPA, and all that is that you handle the lead correctly. That's all it is. There's no oxygen tanks, there's nothing of that. EPA renovators are just instructed on how to properly deal with lead, including not burning it. Can you weld on a fire escape that has lead? You see all these identifying marks? Does that make it kind of idiot-proof that you know what needs to be fixed as an engineer when you walk through and you mark all the violations and you photograph them? You remember what happened to that fireman, right? So these are the people that pay the price. These are the live load testers. You want it to happen here first, or you want to take history and use it to your benefit? These things do happen. We would do a downtown walk-around. This is downtown walk-arounds. These are fire departments, building departments, and housing inspectors. We walk around with housing inspectors. Another pair of eyeballs out there that could look for you. So we do firemen. This is when the fire escape is really needed, when all hell breaks loose. So, you know, fire escapes can save lives or take them. Let's have a quick test. Are these exterior steel or wooden stairs that need maintenance? Exterior steel or wooden stairs that need maintenance. Exterior steel or wooden stairs that need maintenance. Even if they go to strange things. If they go to silos, if they go to billboards, if they go somewhere. Are these things that you may have to use to save somebody? And does it need maintenance? Should we call these things fire escapes, or should we call them exterior steel or wooden stairs that need maintenance? Write that word down on somewhere. So stop calling fire escapes fire escapes. Call them exterior steel or wooden stairs that need maintenance. Because everybody's going to start using the word fire escape against you. Exterior steel or wooden stairs that need maintenance. Is this exterior steel or wooden stairs that need maintenance? These balconies, these Romeo and Juliet balconies, will people go on these and wait for you to save them? Will you step on these? Will you step over the rail? Will you use the rail to rest your ladder on? And if that's bad, could it cause you to fall? So all exterior steel or wooden stairs, balconies and bridges, do they need to be inspected if they're subject to maintenance? So all exterior steel or wooden stairs and balconies should be inspected. hotels, apartment buildings. How about wood porches with full stairs exposed to weather? Are these supposed to be inspected? All exterior steel or wooden stairs must be inspected and maintained. What code you're going to use to get that? I don't know. All exterior steel or wooden stairs. Do not use the word fire escape anymore. To escape the fire, you will use, so reverse the words, to escape the fire, you will use an exterior steel or wooden stair subject to maintenance. And you'll find some code to nail that guy. You'll find it in the building code, you'll find it in your fire code, you'll find it in the housing code, and you'll find it in sometimes the state code, that all exterior steel or wooden egresses must be maintained at all times. Where is it? Keep digging, keep finding. You may already have it. A lot of times in your fire codes, you guys have it very well documented in there. Can you violate deterioration? Can you violate imminent danger? Can you violate something that's structurally unsound? Does that apply just to fire escapes, or can you apply that to anything? All exterior steel or wooden stairs subject to weather must be maintained. Does this need to be maintained? Can you get hurt on these things? Falling 10 feet, can you get hurt? Wood decks. Something 2 to 3 feet off the ground. Does it need to be maintained if it's exterior? All exterior steel or wooden stairs must be maintained and are subject to testing. Spirals, they need to be tested. Decks, they need to be inspected. Sometimes this is the second means of egress, coming off a deck. So is the deck part of my stair when I inspect it? You guys have heard, I think it was in Chicago, 27 people died when a collapse. Remember, I think it was about 5 years or so ago, during a party, which must have been 75 people on that, but at least 25 of them died during that collapse. Catwalks, how about catwalks? You need to inspect those for the wheelchair people. Are those exterior steel or wooden stairs and or balconies or ramps? Equipment. If you got to get on there and fight a fire, do you want those stairs to be certified? All exterior steel or wooden egresses subject to weather must be inspected. How about bridges, catwalks, skywalks? Those are privately owned. We cannot inspect, city bridges, state bridges. We don't inspect those. But can we inspect skyways, skywalks that connect hotels and hospitals together? Are you going to use those to fight fires? They must be inspected. Colleges use them quite often, and hospitals use them quite often. Ladders, they also must be load tested so that they don't pull away from the building. A lot of times ladders are lag bolted in. They're not through bolted, they're lag bolted, so those need to be reinforced all the time because they'll pull away. What's wrong with that ladder? Is that legal? The guy went to Home Depot and put a ladder there? You actually can't put the ladder there if a ladder was original to the building. He's missing his balcony, that's it. The only reason why it's illegal is because there's no balcony there. But if you're an inspector, you say, oh, nice ladder. I have the same one at home, but I used to paint my house. I don't use it to save my tenants. Can you just show me the permit that you used, because I'm sure it's in the jacket, that there was a permit pulled for that ladder when you converted this from a 2-family to a 3-family and you made your attic a 3-family. Oh, you're not even a 3-family. Yet you have a 3-family occupancy here. Oh, you don't have a permit for the 3rd floor apartment. So this ladder was, you put it in the middle of the night. By the way, this whole area is a 3-family area. So what you're going to have to do now is basically vacate this person out of there, or, we like you, we're not going to give you a hard time. What we want you to put is in some scaffolding stairway right now, temporarily, here, that will basically feed that 3rd floor. I need you to immediately go to the city and apply for a 3-family so we can get a little bit more tax money out of you. And how many years have you been running this? We'll find out, so you owe us some back taxes as a 3-family. We also need you now to make sure now you get a permanent fire escape on here. Now I'll decide whether I'm going to let you go out the window, and because there was never a ladder here, I'm not going to allow a ladder, even though your neighbors have it, but they all did it with a permit, so they are grandfathered in. You need to come out this window onto a platform with a staircase all the way to the ground, and if you give me too much of a hard time, I'm going to make you convert this window to a door. So we're going to play, and you're going to fix a lot of these these problems in various ways. But always remember, to satisfy an egress situation, scaffolding egress is what you use immediately. On any situation, any bad fire escape anywhere, you immediately order scaffolding with staircases in them to satisfy the situation. That's your temporary Band-Aid, okay? Speaking of temporary Band-Aids, sometimes somebody has a $5,000 or a $15,000 or $25,000 problem on their fire escape. They got a violation. Little old lady, bank foreclosures, you name the excuse, they don't have the money to fix it. Will you guys allow, and you think engineers would allow, and vendors will do, a temporary Band-Aid? So I'll give you an example. We talked about a tread full of rust. The work on that tread is cleaning all the rust out. But if I get there and I just cut out the 4 bolts, and I put 4 brand new bolts, is that a temporary Band-Aid that will hold a load, tenants coming down and you going up? 4 brand new bolts, the rust is still there. Will that hold you? Brand new bolts, 4 brand new bolts. The answer is yes. It's not a permanent fix, it's making the fire escape tread functional. Does it allow you to remove the violation? No, because the rust is still in there. But does it let you work with a client who doesn't have any money, doesn't have the $25,000 to fix it, but the emergency Band-Aid to make all the connections functional, doesn't include cleaning them out, doesn't include any permanent repairs yet, it's $5,000 as an example. Will that allow you to keep the occupancy? Maybe it's a 12-unit building. Lets them keep an occupancy. You may or may not order fire watch. The violation was not removed. It was suspended for 3 months or 6 months. Whatever it takes for that client to go get money, borrow money, do whatever it takes. So now you can work with these clients not in a black and white situation. You can order an immediate Band-Aid that an engineer will make and oversee to make sure that it's done correctly. That will buy you some time. So emergency Band-Aids is something that we use all the time in today's economic situation. A lot of vendors that have a $25,000 contract, who did the $5,000, you know what they'll do with that owner? They'll owner finance the repair. They'll self-finance and say, listen, you give me a couple $1,000s a month for the next 12 months, I'll fix this fire escape right away for you. So a lot of vendors, because of today's economics, will fix the fire escape for the guy and just get a contract that says the owner will pay him so much, but then every month he'll pay $2,000. Can you wait a year on a certificate while the owner's letting this fire escape fixed over time? Will you be satisfied with that? If he's working, he wants to do it, he just didn't have the money, but he made a deal and he's going to get the thing permanently repaired? That's the gray area I gave you to say that you can work with some of you people that do want to get it done right. They just don't have the money. Foreclosures, little old ladies, you name it, you're going to get the stories. Fire escapes, ladders. Fire escapes? I'm not supposed to use the word fire escape. Exterior steel or wooden stairs? Exterior steel or wooden stairs? Exterior steel or wooden stairs? Subject to maintenance? Exterior, well this is interior. The nice slides. How about these? Exterior, there's still some of these out there, but they've gone. A lot of it was in the military barracks, they had these. But some schools had them. This is some of the products that are out there that they sell. Are these considered second means of egress? These bag ladders that you throw out a window? No, they're not. A bag ladder is not a second means of egress. Doesn't it require special knowledge? You have to know where to put it, how to attach it. A second means of egress is permanent. Even if it's a ladder, must have a balcony outside your window to a ladder. So I got to get out the window, I got to position myself, grab the ladder, and go down. If I have to wiggle my way out the window, try to find the ladder, whether it's to the left or to the right or right underneath my window, is there a possibility of me falling? My job is to get out the window and get away from the fire. Then if there's a ladder there, I need to get myself down to the ground. So any bag ladders, they're a third means of egress. They're a supplementary means of egress. So no bag ladders ever could be allowed as a second means of egress. New fire escapes are built all the time to make fire escapes, to make old buildings functional. Just remember, in 1930 they outlawed all fire escapes on new construction. But all existing buildings, when you've exhausted every means of putting two means of egress inside during a renovation, sometimes a fire escape is the answer. So fire escapes are being built today to satisfy old buildings. Okay? These are what white tags look like on a building. In the night, when you're showing up at a site. This is in Seattle. Is there any question whether or not this fire escape is certifiable, ready to go? Okay? So here we are at the end of the class. I'm going to start showing videos now of some Houston fire escapes. You may recognize your own buildings. Questions first on so far, what you've learned so far. You're a quiet crowd. I don't know if there was not enough coffee or not enough donuts. We can go out and try to jump a cop and see if we can steal some donuts from him, but if you guys are ready, let's watch some videos. So, write down on your book, Fire Escape Academy. Go to YouTube, just type in Fire Escape Academy. There's 350 videos there, and they grow every week. So let's go to the YouTube channel. So once you get there, it'll say that you have 347 videos. You go to a playlist. I'm going to send a playlist to Richard Galvin, and then he's going to forward it back to you guys, that list. But that list will bring you back to this website, and you can go and watch all the other stuff. Two lists he's going to give you. One list specific to Houston fire escapes that I've watched, that I did years ago. Another list of me training one-on-one with fire code officials and building code officials. So now you can see me testing these guys who went through a similar class to this. So I'm going to go down here to what's called the playlist that belongs to Houston. And I have a Dallas one too, in case we want to supplement this. So you go to the Houston one, and we've got some here. Let's play this one first. So you just basically play along. See if you recognize the building.